They said you were done, that it was over, but they don't know what lives inside a man who refuses to fold. Anyone can keep going when it's easy, but when life breaks you down and dares you to quit, that's when legends are born. This is not the end of your story. Not while you're still breathing. Not while there's still a fight left in your soul. Welcome to Stoic Blend, where ancient wisdom meets modern life. Today, we confront the pain, pressure, and silence not as enemies, but as the fire that shapes the unbreakable. Listen to myth is not how your story ends. I don't care how broken it looks right now. I don't care how far you've fallen. You don't stop. You don't fold. You don't shatter. Those with true strength, true warriors don't turn their backs when it hurts. They double down. They grind through the blood, through the setbacks, through the pain until they emerge from the other side, victory clutched in their calloused hands. You're tired. You're aching. But so what? That pain you feel, that pressure, it's not your enemy. It's your forge. That's the battlefield where greatness is carved. You think you want to quit? You think you're ready to throw it all away just because it's hard? Then maybe you never wanted it bad enough in the first place. But if there's still a fire burning inside you, if there's still a whisper telling you, keep going, then you fight. You fight like hell. Because it's not over until you win. Not when you've come this far. Not when you've got something to prove. Not when the world had the audacity to count you out. So wipe the blood from your face. Lace up. And get back in the fight. This isn't survival. This is dominance. Let's get something clear. Setbacks are not the end. Just because you got knocked down doesn't mean you've been knocked out. Just because life blindsided you with a punch you didn't see coming doesn't mean it's over. You didn't fight through all that sweat and sacrifice just to crumble now. Of course it hurts. Of course it's hard. That's how you know it's real. Anybody can keep moving when things go their way. But real fire? Real grit? That shows up when everything goes against you. Setbacks are not obstacles, they're initiation. They test your hunger, your mindset, your obsession, your discipline. Life doesn't care how badly you want it. It'll push you, break you, humble you, strip you of every excuse and dare you to rise. And when you're on your knees, bleeding, questioning, tired, life whispers in your ear like a venomous snake. This is the end. You're not good enough. Give up. And in that moment, you either become the man who folds or the monster who wakes up. Listen closely. The only man who's truly finished is the one who says, I quit. The only defeat that's permanent is self-abandonment. You can lose everything, money, status, people, but if you still have your will, your fire, your spirit, you haven't lost anything that truly matters. You don't need pity. You don't need a lifeline. You need fury. You need purpose. You need that voice inside you screaming, I'm not done yet. You'll see me again stronger, sharper, wiser, and next time, I won't miss. Let the world laugh. Let the pressure build. Let the pain pile on. Because that's how diamonds are made. That's how warriors are built. You want to leave a legacy? You want to look in the mirror with pride? Then you don't quit when it hurts. You double down. You lock in. You train harder. Sharpen your mind. Silence the noise. Every scar proof that you didn't back down. Every bruise a badge of honor. Setbacks don't define men. Their responses do. And your response? It better be war. Don't sit there sulking. Don't make excuses. Don't wait for the perfect moment. Stand up, back straight, fists clenched. Stare down that failure and say, I'm still here. I'm still breathing. I'm still in the fight. And that's the truth. You don't need 100 reasons. You just need one. One reason to rise, one reason to fight, one reason to not die in the same place you fell. This isn't the end of your story. This is the turning point. The moment where the weak break and the relentless rise. Let them doubt. Let them laugh. Let them walk away. Just don't ever confuse this chapter for the final page. You're not built to break. You're built to dominate. This setback, it's your origin story. This is the fire before greatness, the silence before the storm, the pain before the power. When the dust settles, they'll look back at this exact moment and say, that's when he became unbreakable. You want to know when real greatness is born? It's not in the spotlight, it's in the darkness. When you're crawling through hell, when your body's begging for rest, and you whisper to yourself, let's go again. Anyone can show up when it's easy. Anyone can grind when they're winning. But what about when it all falls apart? What about when there's no applause, no encouragement, no hand reaching out to lift you up? That's the test. That's where real warriors are made. Most people only show up when the conditions are perfect. But you show up in the rain, in the chaos, with wounds still fresh, and a storm in your mind. And you don't just show up, you bring fire. You bring hunger. You bring relentless focus, even when your soul is screaming to stop. That's who you are. You're not here to play nice. You're not here to be average. You're here to dominate. And domination doesn't come from comfort, it comes from those brutal mornings when you feel nothing and still go to war. Let them sit on the sidelines. Let them wait for motivation. While they're hesitating, you're stacking scars. You're becoming silent thunder. Every time you show up when it's hard, you sharpen the blade. You build a mind forged in furia discipline that fear and failure cannot shake. Because the enemy, he's not out there. He's in your head. He whispers, take it easy. It's okay to quit. And you answer, not today. Not ever. Once you make that decision, you become something rare. A force that can't be broken. A weapon that can't be silenced. You become unstoppable. They won't see the sleepless nights, the tears, the losses. But one day, they'll see the result. And they'll say, I don't know how he did it. And you'll know it's because you kept showing up. In pain, in silence, in doubt. The pain was the process. The battle was the blessing. So next time it gets hard good, let it. Because every step through hell takes you closer to who you were born to become. You only lose when you quit. You only fall when you stay down. It's not over until you win.